Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and today is Singer 500A day. Singer Rocketeer Slantomatic. This we're doing by popular request because I have customers that have these, or they've just bought them and they need to get them going, and they need to know all the stuff that we're dealing with today. Next up is this bobbin winder assembly right here. You know, it's not my favorite, but it's not an unsurmountable problem. It can be overcome if you know what to do. That's what I'm going to help you with right here. You know, the 401A has the one that sticks out over here on the right hand side. It hangs over here next to the wheel and it swings down, and that's kind of handy and it's easy to replace. But you get these, you might buy one. They send it to you and it looks as nice as this one, which is like pristine, a real nice one. It's a customer's machine. I'm servicing for them. But you'll get it looking this nice, but if it has the original bob winder wheel inside, instead of like this, nice and supple and springy, it'll be crystallized, hard as a rock, and let you take it off. And getting in here can be an issue. Take the top off, that's easy enough. And you're looking here at this assembly right here. This is your mechanism that you have to be concerned with. And I'm gonna have to make sure I can do this so that it's easy for you to figure out and it makes sense. Air compressor, make sure it makes as much racket. I got the air conditioner off for a minute. Could have stopped raining and it warmed up again because this is Texas and it's June 15th, I guess it is. And that's what happens. It gets hot down here. There's your bob winder right there. And a lot of times this wheel will be completely crumbled. And taking this off, it's just a matter of taking this screw right here. See that screw back here in the back? You take this screw out, and this apparatus comes off. Don't lose the spring. A lot of times I see the spring sitting down in there because the customer sends it in. And they've already given it the old college try and lost the spring. The spring will fall right straight down inside there. I see them down there all the time. So this is this little guy here. If you have the bad wheel, you take the bad wheel off, put the new wheel on, it just pops right on. It's no big deal. It just pops right back on. And here's your little adjuster, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. Now getting it back on is the puzzle. Like all these things are a puzzle. This can't be here in this position, it has to be back here. It has to be back. You have to hold it back. And then the spring goes on. This little spring, which you can get on the catalog if you lose it. They're still out there. You can still get them. This little spring goes on. This part that goes down, it goes up against the back here. It goes up against there like that. So you put this in place like so. This is going to end up being against this to kick it over and back. But it goes in like so. And your screw, bolt, whatever, fastener, has a shoulder on it. See, it has the shoulder, step down, don't lose it. They don't sell these at the Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace Hardware. This little guy's got that little shoulder on it, like so. This has the recess. It has to be this screw, or you'll get your grinder out and you'll be making one. Been there, done that, all right? Anything can be made if you're clever enough, and there's folks out there way more clever than me that make some cool stuff. But you have to line this spring up so it's absolutely centered over this hole, because underneath here, this is going to sit right down on it. You don't want to trap it there. But you're going to put this down underneath. You're going to put this over the hole. And the spring is going to have to be on the front side of the winder over here. You have here on this side, because it has to push against it. That's where this gets tricky. Just having this over on the right side, up against, it's going to be up against right here. You put this in. This is going to be in the back. Hope you can see that. This is going to look real clear. When the spring goes on, it's going to be like so, up against that. And then the back side is going to be over here against that, down like this, and up against that, like so. And you have to have about 12 fingers. I only have 10. Sometimes this can be a bit of a challenge, especially when you're doing it around the camera. All right. Did I drop the spring? Yeah, let me get my magnet. Get my spring back up. That's where the spring goes. Wherever I drop it, it falls down in there. This goes like so. You put this in like so. You got to make sure this is back here because the spring was behind it. All right. So you put that front, back, and I'm just going to do it. I do it from rote, from memory. But if I have to walk through it, I just can't seem to do it as well. I just do it. I just put it on there. Put the screw in the hole. You have to jiggle it around a little bit. Make sure you get it lined up so you don't pinch the spring. And you make sure that it goes down into where the shoulder is. You have your screwdriver handy so you can put it down. This stand up. Get back here where I can see my screw. So I can screw it into the hole. Does it want to go in the hole? Do I have it lined it up? All these questions need to be answered. Boys and girls, let's move over to where the hole is. That'll probably help. Silly. I've done this only a million times, but doing it around the camera, that's why I put off doing this forever. Because I knew this would be the end game. Alright. Spring it over there. And it fell again. So I need to practice working around this camera more. And you learn by doing. And you're going to have these same struggles, but you think, well, you think you'd be a little bit better if he's done this a million times. Yeah, you'd think so. But working around this camera is my challenge. Okay, spring it on that side. And that goes over there. And this goes back in the hole. And you guys are going to say, oh, but if you do it this way, if you do it this way, do it around the camera, then give me all your helpful hands. All right? Thank you very much for your assistance. Line that up like so. And put your screw. And say, well, why do you like the 401 butter when it comes to changing the bobbin winder wheel? Well, I think you're starting to figure that out. Whew. Finally got nothing. But then if it pinches that spring, you got to reposition that spring so it's spring loaded. See how it goes down in. Good grief. Snap, snap. Good Lord. See, working around this camera takes forever. But you get the idea. It can be a chore. And see, now you just engage the hand wheel. Step on the gas. Wind the bobbin. Kicks off. Winds. Your spring's on this side. And the other spring's over on this side. And it's underneath the bolt. The bolt's down in the shoulder. Snaps over. So you can see, it can be a pain. Trust me, I didn't try to make that extra hard just to give you guys the idea. It is extra hard working around this beautiful camera. But that's what you do. Just trying to help. So it's got to snap over. And when it gets full, it kicks off. And the adjustment, if you snap on over, it doesn't reach or it's too tight. A little screw right there. This little screw right here. Right there. This screw. Right there. You loosen that. You push this to the left to make it go tighter. Push it to the right to make it go further away. Right there. Snap. Okay? Okay. And you say, well, how do I know I got the right bobbin winder ring? It's another good question. I know you'll ask it because you guys ask some of the greatest questions, and I'm like, well, you just go on there and get one. Yeah, I know that, but you don't. So the right bobbin winder ring is going to be, let's say, for rule of thumb, about the diameter of this right there. See how that's just a little bit larger than that? Because that'll get you close. They can be big and small. This is like medium. say fits most Singer machines, most Japanese machines. And just as a bonus, it fits right over there. So the inside diameter fits there, and then the outside diameter fits right over the little up here. All right. So this is what the bobbin winder. You can go on. It'll say Bernina. They'll be huge and skinny, and there'll be the little tiny ones that go in the white. You want the one that just says standard. Most sold. It'll be pretty obvious. It'll be that big right there. All right. Changing the bobbin winder ring. I made it harder than it made it look harder than it really is, but for me it's a lot easier. But doing around this camera is a pain in the buttocks. All right. Thanks.